My question to you again is the question on the hotels, the 18% of hotels that will be excluded from the scheme due to their percentage going over the 30%. Some of these companies have earned 71 and 72% on projected turnovers. Their scheme now stops them from entering in the EWS scheme. What I'm asking is, these 11,000 jobs have to be protected. These 11,000 jobs will end up being on the PUP payment. At least if they're on the wage subsidy system, their employer is still paying a PRSI contribution into the system, and it will help keep 11,000 people in jobs this year.
Thanks, Deputy O'Donoghue, for raising this. Just want to acknowledge you've raised this on a number of occasions with me. I do appreciate that there are a number of businesses that we do value, that provide very valuable employment to our country, that do find themselves in a position that they are slightly outside the entry threshold of a 30% decline in their business. But what I would say to the Dáil here this morning is that this 70% figure has now been consistently in place since our wage subsidy schemes have been introduced, both for the temporary wage subsidy scheme and the employment wage subsidy scheme. We've always had a very clearly communicated and unchanging reference period for turnover and reference decline threshold. And for some time now, with the employment wage scheme in particular, we have maintained the approach that you can only enter it if your business decline is 30% or more. So because of how clear it has been for so long, I have no plans to change it, Deputy. And any threshold I fix is going to face the challenges of business who are slightly outside of it.
Minister, 11,000 people could end up on the live register, which is going to cost the taxpayer money anyway. If they are in employment, yes, at a reduced amount of PRSI contribution, employer is still giving money back to the state. It is not costing the full amount to have somebody on a PUP payment. This keeps people employed. It keeps people within the sector that have been hit not only last Christmas, but now this Christmas. But you're interfering with their margins into next year, because not only are they down 28 or 9% this year, but now you're putting them in a position that they have no working capital for next year, for the first 2 months of next year. That's putting the hotels in trouble, which means that you might have to correct that. That ends up with the banking system, social welfare. It's a way bigger picture altogether, and this can be fixed for $7.5 million. There's other companies that have got $108 million in wage subsidy and have been on the papers this week.
With any business, I'm supporting business. And the companies that are being referred to by Deputy O'Donoghue, let me repeat again, while I appreciate they are facing many difficulties and challenges, and they have, like many other businesses, had a very tough couple of years. But fundamentally, the reason they are outside this scheme at the moment is their trading performance is better than a 30% decline versus 2019. For some time, we've made really clear in this scheme that in order to enter into it, your change in business, change in turnover has to be greater than a certain figure. And that has been very clearly communicated in this budget and in many other statements from me during the year. And therefore, while I do appreciate that not being able to access this scheme can have an effect on the business, equally, I think it's really important that I'm consistent in saying that if the entry into this scheme is a certain figure, that it doesn't change suddenly. And it's for that reason, Deputy, that this figure has been maintained.